My name is Dan and this is Crafted Camper Co. Over the course of the last 5 months I've been building Project 2. This project has pushed me to my van building limits, and that's because I've strived for everything to be absolutely perfect before I deliver it to my customer tomorrow. Along the way we've had some delays with suppliers dropping out, we've had fantastic new suppliers joining in, and yeah, I'm pleased to show you guys that at the end of this video we'll have the big reveal of the final delivery of Project 2. There's going to be chapters below, so you can skip to that point, but I do encourage just to watch the final few throws of this build. All very exciting stuff and good to watch because it's right at the end, so you get to see the final little details which make it just... We craft every camper unique to its owner, and with financing, sourcing and only 10% deposit, you've no reason not to book a free consultation call. Click below to design your dream camper and avoid any disappointment by securing your limited build slot. Just dropped the van at a metal fabricator's to get the side step, the rear step and the hatch kind of covered over with a bit of angle. So they're going to weld and make custom profile which sits over the edge and then powder coat it. So whilst they're measuring up, they're going to need the van for a good few hours. Time for me to put on and do a job which I've been putting off. So with this build, using Egger laminate, as you know from previous episodes, I've been putting some edge banding on. And one of the things with edge banding, it's very time consuming. It's also got to be quite particular to get it right. So this is ABS, it's like plastic banding which goes over the edge. As you can see on a unit, once you do put the edge banding on, it's a lot thicker than what the board is. So you need to first of all trim it down to a reasonable distance, and then I'll just go grab it. First of all, I get my router, I use a flush trim bit with a bushing on the end, just to vertically trim off the majority of the bulk. And then I've got a big box of goodies then to finish it all off and just get that edge nice and curved and looking really pretty. We have the trimmer. This goes over the edge of the board. Flip it down and it trims the overhang of the board, of the trim on the board. Following that we have a carbide metal scraper. So you use the flat edge to remove any glue or any residue, and then you've got a corner radius there of either 1, 1.5 or 2 mil, which then you can drag along the edge and that just gives you that corner radius. And then once you're happy with the corner radius and just the overall look of it, you can then use the sanding pad just to sand down any kind of imperfections or anything. Then use a tough pad to get it that next stage smoother, and then a soft sanding pad with a polishing compound just to polish it all up. So for one of the smallest bits of these panels it takes the longest amount of time, but it does make it look really nice. And a great opportunity whilst the van's not here and I've got a bit of extra working room, I can just get on every one of these panels and just get the messy bit out the way, the messy, noisy, smelly bit out the way, and router all of the edging trim off, so then I can abuse my hands a bit more and do the finishing bits later on. It's a little bit of a messy one this, but this is the best time to do it when the fan's not here. Get all this mess on and I can sweep it all up. I'm a big fan of deadlines and getting everything done for when I say it's going to be done. Well, that does mean that sometimes I have to prioritise actually getting the build done to reach that deadline rather than do things like filming. But I'm going to walk you through as we're at this key stage now, fitting in the kitchen furniture. So as you can see behind me, we've got the lovely fridge unit. This on the inside has the two 30-volt coming into a couple of plugs there. The plugs will power the fridge, the induction hob, and then there's also 12-volt just through a removable lighter port. That goes to the fridge as well, so you can power it through there. And it's tidy up these wires, but we've got USB charging down here, and then we've just got a couple of cabinets there which I'm yet to build these shelves for. I'll show you the fridge up front. So this fridge is a Dometic CFX 35, I believe. So you unlock it on the slider just down there, and then you can pull that all the way out. That locks into position. I really love the colour scheme, accidentally goes perfectly. And then you can then open this fridge. It's got an ice maker, a freezer. You can reach into it from the outside, but the main idea of it, measurement perfect down there, is that you can come and the fridge has full access. When you're working in the kitchen and you're cooking, you can quickly then go onto the fridge, and the slider that it's on, you can use it as a shelf as well. Sliding that back in, you push and it locks in place and doesn't slide out. All of the edge banding and everything all nicely tucked away into that unit. And then on the other side we have what will be the kitchen sink and Ninja 10-in-1 oven. So in here I've prioritised first of all the undermount sink, which we'll get onto just a little bit later on in this episode. That's going to be on this side with the tap coming up. We have of course the diesel heater underneath the seat running down and round through the floor. I'm just going to box in the heater just there, and then this will then go up and into the water heater, which is in the garage, and then the waste is going to go down and out, and I'm just about to cut through the van to get down into the waste from the sink. We've then got this nice divider in between, which just kind of holds everything together, really neatens and tidies it up and gives us our angles for our worktops. And as you can see down here, the step conveniently, as if I measured it, comes down, ready for you to hop up onto the bed. As you can see, everything is now starting to come together. I'm really getting that feeling of at the end of a project when you have done loads and loads of work to get to a certain point, and then all of a sudden it all starts to come together, and the long to-do list that I've got to do and the deadlines which I've set myself really start to pay off and become, I'm not going to say not realistic, but become available to complete. So I'm going to stop yapping. I'm going to keep on cracking on. I'll get some time lapses going, all putting everything together. Let's go. I received a delivery from the fabricators. So the step, the hot top hatch and the rear step at the back are all custom made metal surround finishes. It's absolutely ace down there. It's powder coated in a matte black, and then even better than that, the pop top surround up the top there, you can see really lovely finish, which just encloses all of the different parts. It perfectly flush with the shelf there, and so looking at that whole area up the top, you can see everything has all come together. It's those little bits where once you get that up and that area is finished now, there's nothing more to do with it. It's enclosed the pop top opening. In between the pop top and the roof, there was a small section opening where the roof was exposed. So closing that off, finishing it off, looks really ace. And yeah, I hope you agree, it's a really lovely way to finish that section off. Very exciting point, we have the Ninja oven in. I'll show through the details of that later on. I've just built the surround and fixing points for that. We're all ready to go on this side with the worktops ready to go as well. So we've got the tap on the undermount sink, which is a really nice touch. I'll plug that in and show you what that is a little bit later on, and then an induction hob. We're about to get the CT1 out and get this compact laminate actually attached into the van, so wish me luck. Those have been weighed down now and just drying. I'm going to give it a few hours, let them fully dry. In the time being, I'm going to finish off the overhead cabinets now that they've all been edge banded, just polish them all up. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, the final deadline for this van is tomorrow, and so it's 8:42. I'm still here, and that's because I'm just waiting for the Valet to come, as I've finally done all of the little touches and added the final few bits. There's been a lack of recording due to the timeline and the deadline, but I'm happy to say that I managed to hit that deadline, and I'm looking forward to seeing what my customer says tomorrow. Just to give you a reminder as we watch the Valet to work, we have one remaining build slot for 2025. If you're at all interested, please give me a call. I'll put the number and my email below so then you can reach out and we can have a conversation about me building your dream camper. It's only a 10% deposit and we've got site financing and sourcing, so just give me a call and I'm more than happy to see what options and what build you want to do. Whilst I wait, I figure it's quite a nice opportunity to show you guys exactly what Project 2 looks like. The first thing as we step up and into the van, we have what used to be the electric sliding door button just here. And when you click that, the underglow comes on the van. A nice little touch, I hope you agree. The idea being when you set out and you're camping at night, you've got all the doors closed to keep the midges in. You've got a nice underglow just to keep a little bit of light out. We walk from the lights outside, let's get into the van and let's turn the lights on from the inside. And to do that, this is all controlled through the main motherboard screen, which is powered by Van. This is an absolutely superb product, and as you can see, it's all branded in Crafted Camper Co, which I'm a big fan of. Going onto the home screen here, you'll be able to see all of the different lights that we've got set up, as well as an additional couple of features which I'll walk you through now. So the first one, we turn the main lights on. They fade in, which is a nice touch. We then have some under cabinet ambient lights. We have, of course, the famous Starliner. And then we have under counter lights as well, which I'll turn them all on and I can show you as we go along. One thing that you can do as well with the van is monitor the tank levels. So just clicking there, you can see that the grey waste is at 40% and the fresh water is at 10%. And I'm not going to do it now because we're in the workshop, but if you click the grey waste, that opens a remote solenoid underneath the van, which then empties out the grey waste, save you having to get under there and get messy, you know, unscrewing a tap or anything like that. Speaking of the water, of course, we've got cold in the van, but we've also got hot. And the way to turn the water heater on is just clicking that button. Water heater kicks in and it's powered by 240 volts, so the inverter's on just at the moment, and that can be done mainly through shore power, which is what the customer for this build specifically requested. Good opportunity also here as well, just to look inside this cupboard. You can see another couple of additionals. So we're powered through the Clayton LPS2, and here you can turn the 230 volt and the 12 volt on. You can also see an indicator for how it's charging, whether that be through 12 volt or 230 volt or the 12 volt boost. You can then turn on the auto turn. Now this is a diesel heater which is underneath the chair there, and a pipe comes out and round, and as you can see I've boxed the pipe in underneath that fourth passenger seat. We've got an outlet just there, as well as a nice TerraWagon holder storage. One feature with this diesel heater as well is the water heater that we've got is a Pundman water heater, and they work in tandem. So once you turn the diesel heater on, that'll pump hot air through and into the cab, and also through into the water heater, so it'll heat your hot water for you. Whilst we're up here, just a nice tidy look at the cabinets. Now they're finished. Got the nice plastic on the back, and I've boxed in the Rolls-Royce Starliner, and of course all of the electrics for the Van just there. Final thing just to walk through on the Van is we've got the stance, and so this is just a gyro which you can buy additionally from Van, and you place that flat in the van. As you can see, we've just got perfectly level rating. That's because we're in the workshop, but of course if you pulled up on a field or a campsite and you're slightly on the cock, then you can adjust, monitor it on the screen and make sure you sleep comfortably at night. Moving down from the cabinet is the first kitchen. So I've gone for a nice Ego laminate, everything's all edge banded, and we've gone for a compact laminate distressed oak worktop. That's from House of Worktops. really phenomenal product. It's really easy to just route into for these underlights. It's nice and easy to get them to cut the larger holes like the hob top and what we'll see with the sink. Still to put the doors on, that's a final job on both sides, but this just gives you a nice indication of what we're using this for. Induction hob on top, controller just for that just there, a couple of USBs, USB-A and USB-Cs. We've got a Dometic CFX3. If you unlock that, that can then slide out, and then that locks in place, and you've got a massive cooler. And of course, this is a good beer fridge, also with ice cubes. Nice little touch. And this fridge is powered by 12 volt or 240 volt. You can control that just on the screen up the front here. So if we start scrolling down, you can see we've got options for the temperature, the battery protection. It's also got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So the cooler in the vans can connect to your phone and Wi-Fi. Back of my house. As well as the 12 volt USB-A and USB-C charging points that we've got. We've also got this centerpiece. This is powered by 240 volt and it's got your 3-pin plugs, a USB-C and a USB-A. Really like the feature of this, and also it's nice and fancy, isn't it? Completely unneeded, but I quite like it. There we go. So pointing this way, it takes us nicely over to the sink. So we have an undermount sink. Again, the compact laminate, one of the reasons we're going, other than how it looks and just preference of mine, is when you cut into it, it's all completely waterproof. So you can undermount a sink almost like you would with hardwood or anything. Of course, we've got the water going now with the sprayer. Hot and cold. Water pump's just kicked in. This should, start the heat up very quickly. We'll get back into the garage just a little bit later on into the video, but I'm really happy with how hot that gets. It starts to burn your hand after a second. And then moving down, just excuse the doors for the minute, but we have the Ninja 10-in-1 oven. So this, as you can see, we've got all the different ones there. I'm not going to go through them all, you know how one of these works. Very popular option, and especially because this customer specifically said he's going to be using it at campsites. Plugging into shore power is really easy and convenient, and quite a lot of different options there for them to be able to cook the tea for his missus and the 2 kids. And moving over from the kitchen, you get the 4th passenger seat, the custom upholstery which matches the walls, the lovely accent light which runs all the way across there, and that takes us nicely to the lagoon table. So the lagoon table spins around, you can move it any which way that you want, so it's ideal for when these 3 seats at the front spin round. You've got a flexible option there for a table. Just below it as well in this floor we have a little bit of extra storage, and just around the back there is a vent for the back of the Ninja. The thing for me when I'm in any sleeping situation, not just van life, is to be able to have a nice and dark evening. So we have these custom magnetic insulated blackout thermal blinds. We've got one for each one of the doors and the front windscreen. We've got one for this side, and then we've also got one for the cab window, which is in the side pod. Now, as the frame of this is not magnetic, I've actually inset the magnets into the warb, but as you can see there, that magnetizes to the wall itself. Nice little touch. There's also, with the pop top, because it's canvas, I presume that cold air throughout the night would start to come and leak through. Also got a custom one which attaches to this custom fabricated surround, and we've got for the pop top opening. More storage on this side with 2 overhead cabinets, and the nice micro LED light underneath, which can be controlled again by the savvy screen. It comes time for bed, you turn the main lights off, a really lovely ambient vibe of what the van's like in the evening. You get a fantastic Rolls Royce Starliner all the way down there to the bed. The bed is 6'1" across, and that's because of the extensions of the side pods. And then you have down here a pop down step, which gives you access to the garage and also a step up onto the bed. The bed is a custom made memory foam mattress. The reason it's custom made is obviously because of the size, which is not quite a double, slightly smaller just on the edges, and then on the ends it curves in diagonally on both sides. And so for that reason I got a custom made mattress, so then it perfectly fits and it's incredibly comfortable. I'm quite jealous I'm not going to be able to sleep on it. Just at the back there we've got the lovely finish with this entire one piece ceiling on both sides, completely fixtureless, as well as fixtureless walls which are done in a marine waterproof vinyl. We've got the Terrawagon trim tidy kit over the top and back, and then the Vandermoon top storage, which I'll show you from the back. As we step outside, we've got another custom fabricated metal surround. Underneath then is storage for your shoes and sliders and so on. Access to the fridge from the outside as well, which is definitely a must. And then sliding that down highlights the flush windows. We've got no electricity charging or water fill points on the outside of the van, just keeps it looking nice and clean. And we've got the Terrawagon exterior kit. What I'll do for the outside of the van is I'll show you some beauty shots and then narrate over, just so then you can get a real idea what's the pot on. The back then with the fifth wheel on the wheel carrier. Let's open her up. Here you get to see the full Vandermoon maxi storage, and that's on both sides. You can see there's absolutely loads of room there for anything that you may need, especially when you're in bed. You can put your phone in all of the pockets and so on, and then into the van and into the garage. I've left open the entryway through there. First thing, just hanging from the ceiling here, is the ladder to go up to the pop top. So this is just on 2 air cables. It's absolutely solid and doesn't move anywhere. What you can do is just loosen either the front or the back, slide it through the step into the cabin should you need to, or slide it back out of the garage. Really happy with that. I was going to put a big bulky, probably loud, like wooden carrier for this to sit into, but this is such a noise dampened, easy way to be able to get the full access to the ladder, and if you need to, you can set the ladder completely out. Really happy with that. Then just have the porta potty for emergency use. That's penned in to its own little section, and then we have the electrical garage. So this main star of the show is powered by the Clayton LPS2, as this has got your inverter, battery. We've gone through this many times. Check one of the older videos to see all that includes. And then there's some ventilation just at the back, just to give it some breathing. And then looking into the electrical garage here, and we turn the light on, you can see how everything is nice and set up. First of all, starting with the crafted Campervan medallion, we've got its RCD breakers, we've got the 12 volts, that's the savvy stance which I mentioned, which is your gyro for your level set, a fuse. Got the DC to DC charger and solar panel isolation switches, and then a couple of fade in fade out drivers just for the lights. Finally, at the bottom of the water garage, we've got the water fill point which goes directly into the spare wheel water tank. Then we've got the Oscalati outdoor shower. So this, fantastic for if the kids need a quick clean, or if the dog is mucky after a walk, or any equipment or anything like that. You could wash it outside the back of the van. You can pop it up onto the holder just for when not in use. That finishes off the project 2. So I hope I've got a detail to go now. I've got 1 or 2 panels just to stick on, just to finalise everything. But I hope you've enjoyed the content for project 2. I hope you join me for future projects which are well in the works, and I can't wait to announce them all to you. But for the time being, I've been Dan. This is Crafted Camper Co. That's a completed project 2. If you like it, please like the video, subscribe, and follow us on all of our socials. Thank you. For project 2. This is the final panel. Going to go just up there behind the cabinets. In 5 months and 10 days this build. Learned a hell of a lot on the way. Got some fantastic new suppliers. Made a few mistakes. Learned from them, which is the key. I'm excited now just to get this final piece on and see if it fits. Beautiful.